beautiful 38-foot Springdale bunkhouse model here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. The full body paint package still gets me on these. It's a standard thing, but man does it look good. A lot of people don't realize the darker blue that you see on this is actually the metal itself is painted. It's not like a sticker package or anything. So a lot of the like peeling issues that you may have when things are exposed to sun over time, which is typically the case with a larger trailer like this. Most people don't tend to put these under a cover. It's greatly reduced, and in general, that's one of my favorite recurring themes with the Springdale family of travel trailers, is they take common occurrence items and they go to some pretty good efforts to greatly reduce any potential for failure with them. I'll talk more about that once we get inside. It is misting a little bit out here and I don't want to damage this camera, so I am kind of making a quick tour of the exterior. But man, even on an overcast day like this, that paint scheme is still just bright, high contrast, very sharp and modern looking. A couple things I do want to point out outside here real quick. On this model, you do see a big sliding glass patio door, kind of like a park model. The idea here being that this could be something that is put on a semi-permanent site. Also with that in mind, considering it's a big trailer and big bunkhouse, they did put a larger water heater in this than a normal Springdale. And you've got roughly a 20-foot awning. This thing has a big honking awning on it. And I was telling you, just the construction mentality of the people at Springdale is very intelligent. Here's one of the examples. You see how the speaker kind of sticks really far out from the wall? That's because they weren't really comfortable drilling a 5-inch hole in their wall. So what they were able to do is just put a smaller, maybe half-inch hole, just enough to feed speaker wiring through. And that way they were able to surface mount the speaker and have a more reliable sidewall with less potential for leaks. This door system here is something I like. You notice there's no door hold back here. Well, you have to really push the door. This is friction sprung, so you don't need a door hold back. It's very difficult for the wind to whip up and whip that thing shut and snap it shut. Now this is a rear bedroom. Bedroom does have a full slide back here, queen bed. And just a couple things I like is on headboard walls, front and rear walls, they like to use this darker accent colored wall. And I like it because it kind of ties in with the exterior color scheme, but it also gives you that extra sense of depth and breadth, and it makes it feel bigger, deeper, and more open. Another thing that's really helping accomplish that, if you look at the rear wall here, if the camera cooperates, there we go. You see how it gets much taller in the middle. In a conventionally built travel trailer, meaning wood frame, aluminum skin, this is the only trailer in production that does this. It is the only wood frame trailer with vaulted roofing, and it's a really big deal. It makes it 7 foot in here, where that's really important. You get bigger cabinet space. You'll gain about 6 extra inches of cabinet space because of it. You're going to have more headroom in the shower, which is a really big deal. The bunks up front, they're going to have more headroom in the bunk space. It's one of those things that just has a waterfall effect, and it's very nice for your trailer. You see that you do have quite a bit of wardrobe space here, and what's nice is they didn't put the wardrobe against the rear wall, which a lot of people tend to do with bedroom slide travel trailers, and in doing so they created that extra large window back there to let in more light. Now in your primary living space here, I want to point out one thing right away. Your fabric colors here, I'm not sure the name of this color scheme offhand that we're looking at in this video, but we sell quite a few of these, so if the pictures look a little different from this video, remember that this video is here for kind of educational purposes, so you get to see how this is laid out, and the pictures generally reflect the color scheme of the one you're taking home. That being said, a couple things in the construction department I was telling you about that I like to point out. You can't see it because Springdale does a lot of things you can't see to improve their value, but this uses a material called Dynaspan flooring. It's actually stronger even than plywood. Instead of 4x8 sheets that are laid in succession down the trailer, this comes in 8 foot wide by 24 foot long sheets. There's only one floor seam in this entire coach, and it'll always be placed in a low traffic area, so the potential for that seam to fail is virtually nothing. And that's what I like about Springdale. They do everything reasonably, humanly possible to eliminate potentials for failure that often plague a lot of the rest of the RV industry. Your windows in this thing are very, very large. And hey, there's Chris, the check-in guy. Chris is our rental coordinator. We also rent RVs, by the way. Just a side note. What I'm showing you right here is this is what I call the poor man's window shade. If you pull this pocket or curtain down right here, you create an air pocket with very little interchange. So that helps your R factors. Now also notice that your valances and lambrequins are fully boxed in. So you have full privacy. You can't, someone can't kind of peek around the corner of your shades and no light can get in. So if you really want to blot it out in here, you can do that. Your table is freestanding. It's elliptical. It's extremely easy to use. The entire thing only weighs a few pounds. So you can use it right here like a normal dining table. You can fold it down and sleep on it. You can fold it down and set it in front of this sofa like a end table or a coffee table or in anything like that. You can take it outside and you can set it between a couple lawn chairs. It can be like the buffet nacho serving table here in the kitchen. You can do anything with it. That's why I like it. It's more functional. Right next to your primary seating areas, you do find a handy charging point. It has both 12-volt plugs for like car chargers and then a pair of USB plugs here. And it's handy for charging pretty much any of your mobile devices, cell phones, things like that. This is a tri-fold memory foam sleeper sofa. No air beds, no inner springs, no bar in your back like when you slept on grandma's couch when you visited as a kid. High-def flat screen is included here, and you'll find an upgraded stereo system in this Springdale. It has not only CD and DVD capability, but this top button right here is Bluetooth function. So you can wirelessly sync this thing to your, again, mobile devices and enjoy your preference of entertainment anytime, anywhere. Now, if you don't have Bluetooth, not a big deal. It has an auxiliary input, has a USB port here you can charge if you have a USB cable, and if not, there's power outlets right here, so you can plug it in, any device in, anywhere around here, and as long as you have a headphone cable, you can plug it in and still enjoy your music. It doesn't even have to be Bluetooth enabled. The front bunkhouse I love, because on a rainy day, like today, today's a perfect example. This is convertible. It kind of converts into the kids' own little second living room, because these bunks are on handy struts. You see, with one hand you can operate this. And there you go. Now we have a little eat and go dinette. The kids have their own USB chargers right here, so they can keep their phones and crap in here instead of plugging up the living room. Because, mom and dad are on vacation too, and mom and dad are going to want a little bit of free time. Get away from he took my spot and all that kind of stuff. I know that's how me and my brother were. My poor parents. Anyway, each of the kids are going to have their own little power outlets up here for various devices, in addition to those USB plugs I mentioned earlier rather. The kids do have their own entertainment center up here, and they always have their own storage closet up front with the Springdale. Another thing to mention, this is one of the Springdale advantages. They are built better than most things in their class, and that is why they have a 300-pound bunk rating. Industry standards 200, a pretty decent trailer is 250. Things like Springdale, Jayco, stuff like that, they have 300s. They're better built, they're longer lasting, and customers generally are happier with them. Quick look at the other direction of the Super Slide here before we move on to the kitchen. And this is nice. You've got a big trailer that can sleep a ton of people, so you have a big refrigerator. I believe this is 18 cubic feet. Refrigerator freezer here. Oh, one more thing now that I'm looking at it before I forget. This air conditioner, we like to upgrade to a 15,000 more often than not instead of a 13.5. In English, that means 50% more cooling power. Now what's cool is even though this trailer is 50 amp service, it's wired for 2 air conditioners. We installed the one bigger AC because with a simple $9 adapter, I could take this 50 amp coach to any 30 amp site and maintain full use of every system in it today. It's a very flexible setup when we do it that way, so that if you want to add a second AC, no problem. If you don't want to add a second AC, not a problem. You can take this anywhere you want. So there's good ways to, or there's advantages to it both ways. Another little Springdale advantage, something that you can't see or necessarily appreciate, is this lighter colored wood you see back here for supporting and bracing. It's a #2 North American spruce. Second best grade of wood you can even build with. The reason that they use this is because it has a stronger interlocking grain. So when you're bouncing down the road and you have all those geometric forces at play and this whole box is trying to twist, that stuff is more rigid. It is going to prevent those screws from blowing out the side of the wood, and it will last longer. Nothing is ever failure proof. Again, the idea behind a Springdale is to minimize every reasonable potential for failure. That's what I like about them. You know, when we sell these, they stay in your driveway, they stay out of ours. And in general, folks are very happy with their Springdales. Again, with this big ceiling here, you have tons of room in the shower. You have a far taller shower in here than most trailers, and you have a shower, not a tub. You don't have that big, ugly step up. You do have a linen closet here to keep things like towels on hand, and we have porcelain stools with a foot flush, so you don't have to have your face near your business, so to speak. I think we've pretty much covered it, so give us a call, 800-256-5196. Thank you very much. Have fun, be good to one another, and happy camping.